Alright, this will give you an idea of what's going on at the IX Center. Big crowds, a lot of bikes, a lot of fun. Ducati, their new Street Fighter model. Exhaust look nice, roll suspension, and of course who can forget the Ducati red paint. Corsa red. See the big crowds? Give an idea what's going on here.
Alright, we finally got up with Gear Chick, Joanne Dawn, who's a monthly contributor to the Two-Wheel Power Hour Motorcycle Show. You've heard her month after month after month. Now you get to see her. She, of course, rides a Suzuki SV 650. She just got done doing a great seminar on how to pick the right bike and how to fit the bike to yourself. Joanne, thanks for coming by for a few minutes here. A little bit about the traffic so far today. It's pretty busy.
It's very busy. This is the second year we've had the Women Ride feature, and as you can see, it's all new. Like last year we had a very small kind of look and space, and now we have our own benches and our own stage. It's fully built out for seminars.
Yes, and it's all about women. You get up here this weekend, you definitely want to stop by because it's women talking about women's apparel, riding motorcycles, things that are directly relating. They talk the talk and walk the walk. That's why you got to get up here. Women in riding. This is Larry Ward along with Gear Chick, Joanne Dawn. See you later.
Hey Roy, why don't you get up on this bike here for a minute?
If you're into doing it yourself,
give somebody an idea how it looks sitting on it.
head over to
Look at that, man. You can throw one leg right up over that bike.
Seminar stage features
This must be a rider.
maintenance on your motorcycles, that sort of thing. Got a full schedule for the DIY stage and returning again this year.
He doesn't like change, that's the problem.
DIY and Upstage are sponsored by
There's our own Roy Dyckman. Here's the 900 Scrambler. You can see both this thing, I sat on it, it's got a great feel to it. Super wide bars, a nice rack. Check out the thing and take a look at the exhaust. 2-in-1 Aero upswept competition exhaust on it. All blacked out. Not as heavy as you would sometimes think, and not be too bad. See the crowd over here by the Thruxton. Always draws a crowd. Everybody likes the Thruxton. Okay, one of many custom-built motorcycles here on display at the IX Center, the Progressive Motorcycle Show this year, which I might add is a lot better than last year. You can see that this is owned by Bill Steele of Steele's Customs. A 2008 120 cubic inch motor.
We got over it. Run out of board. It's not a bad riding
Huey Schweppes.
Oh, well, this is killer. Thank you.
Freestyle bike. This is actually a Yamaha V-Star power plant custom bike. Exhaust comes out through the front fender there. What bike event would be any bike event without the Harley-Davidson marquee? There they are, the always present Harley girls selling bikes. This is the concourse. Big motor, all-day touring capability, shaft drive, luggage, good ergonomics, windshield.
Make sure you check our
An idea what one of the drag bikes looks like. Probably Ricky Gadsden. 2011 250 Ninja. Good paint scheme. Nice looking bike. Here we are up in the old Yamaha booth. About 1:30 in the afternoon. You can see that it's still a big crowd here. Yamaha is well represented with the smaller bikes, and now with the lead ban being repealed right now, or at least on repaved for November, some of these smaller 110s and smaller can now be sold without fear of the regulation and government problems. Let's go over to one of the more popular bikes, WR 250X, which is their motard version of the WR 250. Very popular bike, water cooled 250. Set up into a motard version. This bike's roughly $6,500 bucks. With the addition of these wheels and that, pretty much sit out and go anywhere you want to go. Here's their sport touring Kana with more emphasis on sport. The FC6R 600cc bike. Very well laid out.
What's going on? We caught up with Race Tech suspension people, and I'm with Lenny Allman, and Lenny is one of the suspension gurus for many of the road race guys coming up, especially coming up in Daytona. It's a month and a couple of weeks away. Lenny, a little bit about the suspension work that you're going to be doing. What are the most questions when a guy walks up like the last guy did? What are they asking you?
Typically the biggest issue that we run into all the time is, you know, when you buy a bike off the factory floor, they're not set up for you. I mean, you get that really new bike feel, but after a while you're going to notice all the issues that you run into. The bottom line is the spring rates and what we see on a normal everyday basis are just not correct. So they come in there and they want to get the bike to a point where they're comfortable, but they really don't know what it takes to get that bike. You know what I mean? So they don't have a clue. But where they'll say they set the sag and the bike's not reacting properly. Well, the problem is, they've set the sag on the motorcycle, but they've set the sag with the wrong spring. So they've got the preload jammed all the way down inside of it, and they can't figure out why the motorcycle's not handling the way they want it to handle.
When you talk about setting up a bike and then talking about setting up sag, just briefly, what do you tell the guys if you're going to look at your stock suspension? What are some of the things that you can do right now to make your bike handle a little bit better and fit you a little better?
The cheapest, most inexpensive way to make your bike work awesome is just to buy the right springs for it. I mean, the bottom line is, you know, the geometry of a bike should roll home in a straight line, and the wheels should move underneath the bike. I mean, theoretically, that's the way it should be. Well, when the spring rates are too light front and rear, what you do is you have essentially a seesaw. When you're on the brakes, you're on the nose. When you're on the gas, you're on the rear. And the thing is not reacting to your input properly. So $200 buys you a set of front and rear springs, and night and day difference. You're 75% towards the ride that you're looking for by just putting the right springs in there. It's cheap.
Why don't you explain real quick some of the various shocks that they have over here?
We have a couple of different types. Everything from this non-reservoir basic emulsion style shock to here's the high zoot remote reservoir, piggyback reservoir shock, high-low speed damping, rebound ride height. This is something that you would see out at the AMA. This is actually the shock that we use for many of our teams, David Anthony, etc., Rispoli. We have models in between, and depending on the amount of adjustment you want, we'll be kind of the price level, you know, so we can start as low as a pair of these are about $6.99 to I do here $1,200. It just depends on where you go.
All right, Lenny, I want to thank you very much for being a guest on the Two-Wheel Power Hour. You can catch Lenny, Race Tech, they'll be live down at Daytona. Go into the pits, you'll see many of the top flight racers. You're going to see Lenny down there working on them. Lenny, I want to thank you very much for being our guest.
Cool, look forward to seeing you down there.
Thank you.
I can't believe that I had an All-State when I was young, although it was in the form of a bicycle, but All-State mopeds from the 60s were very popular, and this brings back memories of what it used to be like.
I suppose when you were younger, you had a girl that looked like this on the back of it, right?
As a matter of fact, didn't we date when we were younger?
Don't tell my age.
See? She doesn't want to give her age away. Yes.